World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day! This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. The United Nations or UN has emphasized that former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her government tried to cling on to power using systematic deadly violence against protesters that could be considered as a crime to humanity. The BBC reported that UN human rights investigators accused the administration under former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Hasina of a brutal response to mass opposition in 2024, from which up to 1,400 people had been killed. The UN team said political leaders and senior security officials were behind an official policy to attack and violently repress anti-government protesters. It is noted that Hasina, who had been in office for 15 years, flew to India shortly before crowds stormed her residence last August. The unrest began as student-led protests against quotas in civil service jobs and escalated into a countrywide movement to oust Hasina and her Awami League party. In other news overseas, Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abulghait rejected any plan to displace Palestinians from the Gaza Strip, saying on Wednesday that such resettlement would be unacceptable. It was reported by the Voice of America that Abulghait told the World Government Summit that United States President Donald Trump's proposal to move the roughly 2 million Palestinians out of war-ravaged Gaza would push the region into a cycle of crisis with a damaging effect on peace and stability. Earlier, Jordan's King Abdullah II said after talks on Tuesday with Trump that he reiterated his country's steadfast position against the displacement of Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. The king highlighted what he said was Trump's instrumental role in securing a ceasefire in Gaza and called on the United States and all stakeholders to ensure the halt in fighting holds. It is noted that Trump has discussed a plan under which the US would take over Gaza and Palestinians would have no right to return. And news from the Philippine Foreign Service Post, building on the success of its previous run, the Salo-Salo event was brought to an even larger audience as it was hosted by the Philippine Ambassador to Oman, His Excellency Raul S. Hernandez, and his spouse, Madam Ana Algabre Hernandez, who warmly welcomed distinguished guests, including the Chief of Protocol of the Foreign Ministry, heads of missions from Indonesia, Spain, Cyprus, and Jordan, along with their spouses, business leaders, and media executives. Organized by the Filipino community group Pearl of the Orient events led by Chef Marilyn Alvarez and Mr. Yeru Abuen, in partnership with Sheraton Oman Hotel, the event wowed the attendees with the event's harmonious blend of Philippine culture, tradition, heritage, and gastronomy. The attendees were treated to a meticulously curated 7-course menu that showcased the depth and diversity of Filipino cuisine. Each dish was crafted to highlight the flavors of the Philippines, combining traditional ingredients with modern culinary techniques. Complementing the exquisite dining experience were vibrant folk performances that brought the rich cultural heritage of the Philippines to life. The performers, adorned in traditional Filipino attire, enchanted the audience with their graceful performances and lively musical renditions. The overwhelming positive feedback from the attendees sets a strong foundation for future collaborations and similar initiatives that celebrate Filipino culture on the global stage. With its remarkable success, Salo-Salo has paved the way for more elevated Filipino dining experiences to be embraced in Oman and beyond. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5 for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.